Well, because we didn't get through quite as much in class, and that is partly my fault, I didn't pace the afternoon quite as well, I want to take some time here to walk through an example walkthrough with you. I decided to start with reminding you how to get logged in into your observation form, and then we'll actually walk through an example walkthrough form here together. So I'm on the edivation.com website here. I'm going to go ahead and log in, just as you would do. I have two tabs open up top because I know that soon I'm going to have the video open on one tab, just like I was entering a classroom, and on the other tab I'm going to complete my observation. So I'm going to log in here, and then I'm going to go and find our course. Our course for me is under my courses widget here, right here. Click on that. It might be for you up under the resources tab there. And then I'm going to task in the walkthrough module. I'm going to task 39, which has the directions for the walkthroughs. Task 39, directions. As I read those directions, again, I know I have two tabs on my computer or a separate device. And I know I need this link, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that link because that's where my observation templates are. I'm going to have to put my password in again quickly, and should be off and running. While that's going, I'm going to go back and click Done here because I want to get geared up for the example walkthrough. This is the one we were going to do in class. I'm going to get geared up, but I'm not going to complete it just yet. It is a 7th grade math problem solving secondary level lesson. So once my observation pops up here, just like this, I'm going to go down here and select my observation form. For you folks in Cedar Rapids 11, I look for walkthrough forms here, and I'm going to slide over here and pick Cedar Rapids 11. Don't need to worry about the school, and for this I'm going to just pick myself. Hopefully I'm in here. Pick myself there and start the observation. So there we go. This is an informal walkthrough. If I remember right, it was 7th grade. It was math. Leave those checked. Start date is fine. My template again is EDL 278 Classroom Walkthrough Form CR11. Good. Ready to go. I know that once I start watching the video, these are the things I'm looking for as we talked about in class. I'm looking for evidence of a learning target or objective. I'm looking for students engaged in learning. I'm looking for a type of assessment observed or not observed, and if it's formative or summative. And I'm thinking about reflective questions that might lead to teacher conversations, instructional conversations with that teacher as I watch 3 to 5 minutes of this lesson, and we won't watch longer. So thinking about these things, let's step in the classroom and watch the lesson.
It says, imagine you just invented the app Draw Something, and your goal is to sell it to Zynga, the biggest purchaser of mobile apps in the world. In order for Zynga to consider your new app for purchase, it must have a download rate of 5% of all mobile users. Out of the 288 7th graders at your school, 12 have downloaded the app you created. So based on the sample, predict how many of the school's 864 students will download the app, and then you're going to determine whether or not your team is ready to approach Zynga with a sales pitch for your app. Justify all of your answers with written out explanations, equations, tables, and or graphs. So I'm not telling you which ones to use, okay? You just do what you feel would work, okay? So let's take 5 minutes of private think time to generate some ideas, come up with some things that you can use in your small group. Go ahead and start to collaborate with each other and look at what other people have done and see if their way might have helped you, or make sure that you both, or you can look at the way you did it with the way they did it and see how they connect, why you're both able to do it that way. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to talk in your small groups before I give you paper, okay? So that you can kind of get some other things worked out, all right? So 5 minutes.
And they want to have 5%, and that wasn't 5%. So it would be they should not approach things. And then 1 over 20.
Just like how the unit rate just done it by that.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Because that makes it easier.
What unit rate did you guys get?
I got 1 over 24, but I don't think that's right now because the way I graphed it, well, 24 would be why.
24 would be.
Well, I mean, no, you would put that on the y-axis because the total amount of students would affect how many students downloaded the app, not the.
Yeah, you did it backwards on the graph. Everything else is right.
That's my
Because why?
I see that now. And so would my unit rate be wrong too?
No, because both of, if you're going by that graph, then that would be.
Yeah. I see that.
For B, I said no because.
Yeah, I got 4.16 repeating.
Yeah.
What did she do in her work right here?
She found the unit rate.
She found the unit rate. So did she have to solve a proportion?
No, I got the unit rate.
Is that what you did too?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
proportion was too hard.
okay, so Nick, why did you have trouble in the beginning? What was hard in the beginning about this problem?
Trying to find out what number.
Why was it hard to find that number in this case?
Because I was using 12.
Okay, so why was Emma's way easier?
Because she simplified the numbers out.
First, right? So then the numbers weren't so big, right? Okay. Okay. Okay, continue to work. I'm going to bring your white paper over in just a minute. Okay. Right now, as long as you have some ideas, that's great because I want to give you your white paper so you can start getting it on the paper because that takes the longest, right? So when I bring the paper, go ahead and start, divide up some tasks so that you all can get it done quickly.
I'm going to stop the lesson here because I have a good look here at the lesson target. And I wasn't sure if they were looking at fractions here, if they were looking at ratios or proportions, or if they were doing something like problem solving or graphing here as a secondary concept. But now I have a pretty good look in the board, and if this is accurate, it looks like the teacher's learning target for the date here is to represent proportional relationships in a variety of ways. And so the worksheet in the lesson is asking students to work on that concept. So that's going to make it easy for me to identify that learning target on the observation. Represent proportional relationships in a variety of ways. Back to our walkthrough form. Yes, I see that learning target even though I didn't have a chance to talk to students. Represent let's see, and represent proportional variety of ways. Relationships. So, in 3 to 5 minutes in the class, I think that was just 4 minutes or so, we're getting this pulled together pretty quickly and getting some data. I'll put more formative here. I would also say the student worksheets would also be evidence of how they're learning the concept. And a reflective question that I was thinking about, maybe it's the same for you, would be how do you go about grouping students based on the learning targets leave it at that. And wondering about that aha moment for that young lady sitting by the black little girl who helped her realize that her proportions or her fraction was opposite. That aha moment, I wondered if that was intentional or if that was unintentional, those kids sitting together and how those kids are grouped. So I believe that reflective question might lead to more instructional conversations with this teacher. So if I'm satisfied with my brief walkthrough, I'm going to go ahead and submit this. And in the real world, it'd be emailed back to the teacher. And in our world, it will be sent to me and yourself. And you have one walkthrough done and 8 to go. Hopefully this little tutorial gave you some guidance. And again, remember, the only way you're going to be a great evaluator is if you're in classrooms and you gain experience and confidence along the way. So go to work.